Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be looking at the Jin Slayer. I'm pretty sure the D is silent. The Jin Slayer Ataghan. This is a very interesting sword because it does have some relatively nice damage, and I can kind of see what they were trying to do here with this particular sword. I'm not entirely sure that they achieved the goal that they were trying to hit, but it does do a pretty incredible amount of fire damage, and not really 100% sure, but as we go over it, maybe I'll get an idea. So right off the bat, we have 88 to 156 damage on this on the non-ethereal form. It has 240% enhanced damage, which is pretty massive, but it does vary between 190 to 240%, so pretty big variable there. We also have a 95 dexterity requirement, 138 strength, which is not bad. And I do believe this is an elite item already, so I'm pretty sure we're not going to be able to upgrade this. We have a level 65 requirement, which is kind of low for an elite item, and it is very fast attack speed already, of course, because it is a Ataghan. Ataghans are very fast weapons in general. Now, they do tend to have rather low damage, though, for their high speed, so keep that in mind. Now, we also have 150% bonus damage to demons on this as well, which it will act as a might aura damage. It's off-weapon ED. It does vary from 100 to 150%, so we do have a little bit of a variable there, and that will stack with other damage to demons, like if you're running Laying of Hands, which is 350% damage to demons, you would have essentially 500% damage to demons, which is pretty sweet. We also have 300 attack rating to demons, and this does vary as well by 100 points, so it's 200 to 300. And then we have a massive fire damage of 250 to 500, which is pretty darn sweet. And if you're a sorceress, I'm not sure why, if maybe you're an enchant sorceress, if you were running this, your fire mastery would actually beef that up, believe it or not. So you would get a pretty huge bonus to that fire damage from your fire mastery. If you're not a sorceress, though, I think the only other character in the game that gets fire mastery is Necromancer, running the full Tranks set. We have 6% mana steal on this, which unfortunately does vary from 3 to 6%. And then we also have lightning absorb, which varies from 3 to 7. And the sockets vary from 1 to 2. Unfortunately, this weapon suffers from the same thing a lot of unique items suffer from, which is the terrible variances on everything. The enhanced damage varies. The damage to demons varies. The attack rating to demons varies. The mana steal varies. The lightning absorb varies. The sockets vary. It all is terrible. And I don't know why they decided to do this, because it makes the weapons relatively useless when you find them in very poor condition. Now, you can also find this in its ethereal form, which is 132 to 234 damage, which is much better than the 88 to 156. And it does have 85 dexterity, 125 strength, 128 strength requirement, and level 65. Now, if you were to use this, you'd have to burn a socket. So you'd have to throw a Zodroot in it, sad. Now, if you did find an ethereal version and you did want to burn a Zodroot in it, you would have to put something else in the other slot. And what would you put in there? Well, it's already a very fast weapon, and I feel like what it needs more than anything is enhanced damage. So perhaps the best choice would be an Ohm Rune. I don't think I actually have an Ohm Rune laying around, but an Ohm Rune would give it 50% enhanced damage on top of its already 240, which would bring it up to 310% enhanced damage. And that would be quite a bump in damage for a weapon that is already extremely fast. You have to keep in mind that when you're dealing with a weapon that's already really fast, you don't want to make it faster, because there's always a point at which these fast weapons will cease to become fast enough. Let's go. Let me go grab a Pul Rune real quick, and we'll see what we can get this up to. Or sorry, Ohm Rune. All right, so here we go. I've got an Ohm Rune, and let's take a look at this. So we've got 132 to 234 right now, and if we throw this Ohm Rune in there, we go to 152 to 269. Let's go test this bad boy out, and let's see what kind of damage it does, shall we? So we are not particularly set up for this, but it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and just throw on Might, and we'll throw on Zeal. Let's go play around with it and see what kind of damage it does. As you can see, it is relatively fast. And of course, he was immune to fire. I don't know, it's not bad. I mean, it's not the greatest weapon in the world, but it's not bad. It certainly has a nice amount of fire damage on it. The mana steal is certainly nice. The lightning absorption could come in handy in specific cases, but I'm not exactly sure it really fills the purpose that it was designed for. I'm pretty sure that it has the highest fire damage, though, out of any weapon, I think, in the game. And its damage to demons could certainly be stacked really high. Perhaps it could work very well against bosses. All bosses are demons, for instance. And I really just don't know. I feel like this is a weapon that kind of doesn't really have a good place. Even ethereal in its perfect condition with a Zod and an Ohm, I'm not, like, overly impressed. I mean, it would make a fairly decent Zealer weapon. I'm not going to say that it's not. But what do you think, Mr. NiNi? He's speechless. So let's go and take a look and see where you could possibly find this item if you wanted to look for one. And I do have a note on this as well. So let's see here. Jin Slayer. 150% magic find. Bosses find. And let's see what we got here. So Mephisto in hell, Diablo in hell, Baal in hell, and Dariel in hell. Pretty much all hell difficulty. Baal in Nightmare has a chance to drop it. Pretty good chances, too. 1 in 522, 1 in 759, 1 in 780. It's not bad. We also have super uniques. There are quite a few super uniques that can drop this. Of course, the Hell Cow King. We've got the Summoner, Bone Ash, which is really easy to farm. Quite a few monsters here, like the Dark Elder, Cold Crow. These are very easy to get to. Beetle Burst. Eldritch the Rectifier, Shank the Overseer, Doc Farron, Pindleskin, Hephaesto. All very good chances, honestly. And there's another caveat here. So a very interesting thing is that one of the monsters that has one of the highest probabilities of dropping this item, and I know the game doesn't really show it. It's kind of hard to see. But there are particular monsters in the game that pop out of barrels. They're called flying sabers or flying scimitars. Flying scimitars can only drop scimitars on only the 3 variables. So the 3 variables of the scimitar are, of course, the Shamshir. I think so, anyway. The Shamshir, the scimitar, and the Ataghan. And they can drop all 3. And the way that Magic Find works is that it can't control what drops. It can only control the quality of what drops. But these particular monsters are restricted specifically to this item. So they can only drop the normal quality one, the nightmare quality one, and the elite quality one. So if you're really kind of looking for a Jin Slayer, maybe you really want to find a perfect version, maybe you really want to try it and try it out on a particular character, go into zones that have a high probability of spawning flying scimitars. One in particular that I know of right off the top of my head is the Matron's Den. So if you open up the portal to Lilith to do the Ubers, in the Lilith portal, when you kick the barrels, flying scimitars come out of them all the time. And I have actually seen several Jin Slayers drop from those flying scimitars. That's probably your best chance, bar none. All in all, I think that's probably all we really need to talk about with this item. You could, of course, put 2 shales in it, make it even faster if you wanted to. You could also throw something else in there. You could even throw Lemrunes in there for more gold find, or you could throw 2 Runes in there for lots of open wounds, or you could throw in Burr Runes for crushing blow. There's a whole lot of different things you could do. And because it does have 2 sockets, it is highly customizable. Tell me down in the comments what you would do with this particular item. And don't say Charcy it. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.